let's take everything that we learned about auto layout and kind of put it in one single video. And hopefully you were able to actually solve this assignment without watching it, and you're now just kind of seeing if there's any way to improve your workflow or create things a little bit more efficiently. But even if not, like, the point of this course is for you to try to solve things. If you get stuck, to always have solution ready, and then once you have that solution ready, you can still kind of just like follow along and learn by doing that as well. So to analyze this screen, we can definitely see that it's gonna be a lot of work. We're gonna have to create all of these cards that can go outside of the screen, so that they're not really kind of, in a sense, responding to the width of the main frame. And that's really realistic. Like, one area of apps that I kind of focused this assignment on was the fact that you can work on web apps, and project management apps often have this kind of Kanban view for managing tasks. So the header works really well. The only thing that kind of changes in width is going to be the search, while in here the width changes of this main element that contains the title and all of the little filters or settings. The title stays on the left, the filter and settings stay on the right side. And then all of these cards seem to be in auto layout as well, but they're not responding to the main frame at all. They're just kind of the fixed width that they are. But it does seem like all of them are also auto layouts containing different auto layouts inside. So the smallest item that we have in here is going to be probably this card in here. And then when you have multiple cards, they're one auto layout, and then you have also the main like Kanban element that has a title icon and this action as well. And as you can see in your workspace, there's nothing. It's all for us to kind of create in this video. So let's start things off with the header on top. I think that's going to be a little bit simpler as our first thing to do. So I'm just going to hit F on my keyboard and kind of draw a frame from left to right edge. I'm going to place it like that, and I'm guessing it's somewhere around 80 in size. I'm also going to add a fill to that frame, and I'm also going to maybe add a subtle stroke to it as well, just so that it's a little bit easier to see. It does seem like it does have a stroke, so that's a plus. The main screen in here is going to have a fill like this. Now, I don't think I'm actually using the right shade, so I'm going to go back and copy it. Yeah, it doesn't seem like with this assignment we're going to be using just a couple of styles that were used to create all of the assignments in here. As you already know, in some of those assignments, we're just kind of right now using things that are not styles, even though we'll go over styles in the next module. So if you're wondering what I'm talking about, there's going to be a lot of videos and lessons on that, and you're going to be able to create your own styles very easily. But styles are all of the things in here that you can see and kind of use in your design that are already pre-made for you. So one thing that we have in here, we have some kind of a logo. Now, one thing I'm not going to do, basically I grabbed it from logoipsum.com. So if you're looking for that specific logo, you can grab it from there, or you can go into the reference and find the logo inside. So we have this, and I'm just going to grab the logo from there. Okay, so we have logo. We need to create an auto layout for this search. So I'm just going to create I'm just going to create a text layer that says search with 3 dots. And I'm going to turn it into an auto layout. I'm going to make it a little bit bigger. And I'm also going to make these sides a bit bigger as well. I'm going to use a fill. I'm just going to color pick it from here. I'm also adding a little stroke, color picking it from there. Ooh, that's definitely not that color. Sorry. Stroke and the fill. Yeah, perfect. Also, it seems that the search is a little bit lighter color while it has this placeholder instructional text in here. And I'm just going to round this up to something really big like that. Let's center it. Let's see how far we want to push it. Yeah, it feels like 48 could be enough. And then let's just resize it to something. Next thing is creating a button that says create new. It looks like it's a little bit bolder. Auto layout again, a little bit bigger on the other side as well. Full roundness, adding a fill to it. Let's make it purple and let's make this white. Yeah, I think that could be good. The only thing I'm worried about is maybe it's something like this, and the buttons are actually even bigger, and input fields are a little bit bigger as well. If not, I don't think it's like too big of a problem. This does feel a little bit too big, but I'll just keep it like that for now. Let's place it there. Let's see how far this is. So 32 is going to be great. And then we also have all of the elements in here. So workspaces is going to be one. I'm going to put it to regular. I'm going to duplicate it and create an auto layout out of these two items. I'm going to position it centered into the header, add some spacing in here that I feel is going to work. I'm also going to position the auto layout to this and this, so centered and right. And now as I add more items, they're all going to appear on the left side. So 1, 2, 3, 4, we need 4 workspaces, recent, favorites, and templates. And then we're gonna turn this into an auto layout, and the only thing I need to do is switch it from pack to space between, which is gonna make all of these elements work on their own. I'm gonna still change a couple of things because, as you can see, the spacing in here wasn't really that good. And this one should definitely fill the container. So again, space between. Hot contents. Maybe if I edit the hot contents, no. It's really weird because I'm sure that this setting should be to fill container, because if we resize this, the search is resizing. But then maybe these spaces are the only settings that are left. Yeah, sorry about it. Okay. So yeah, because this one is using fill container, because this search bar is filling the container, the main layer auto layout can never have a space between setting, and that's what kind of triggered the change in here. Okay, so the only thing that this is missing is the shadow, and we have the navigation ready. I'm just gonna make the navigation go from left to right of the main frame so that you can kind of see the search bar getting smaller. Okay, so we fixed that. Now it's time to create the little filters. I'm gonna go into our handy plugins, go to phosphor icons. chevron, it's going to be chevron down. As you can see, the half pixels are here. Just drag it around, they're removed. Let's make it smaller, 24. That feels a little bit large still, so maybe 16. Grabbing that, pasting it in here, switching it like that, centering it. So basically I'm grabbing the text layer and this icon, and I'm creating an auto layout out of them, adding a little bit of spacing, fixing the stroke size of the chevron so that it fits a little bit more with the text that we have in here. I'm not sure if I left it at black. I didn't, which is perfect. You should never really use like black in your UI. That's hardly going to be a good choice, just because with UI, if you're using light backgrounds, black is basically the most contrast that you can have, and it can put a lot of eye strain on your eyes. So I definitely recommend kind of not doing that and using like a lighter shade of gray. It can still be dark, but just not like fully black. Okay, this honestly feels good. I just need to put a fill to it and add some soft shadow. Still trying to get it to the correct like width, but I'm guessing this is gonna be good. Kind of in view. Let's add another one. I'm gonna create an auto layout out of them. Again, position them so that they resize correctly. Adding a new one. This is gonna be filters. This is gonna be public. And on the left side, we're gonna have weekly to-do list. Let's make it bigger, something like this. Maybe semi-bold, looks good. Let's position it to the top, like this, left, 32. So yeah, I'm not gonna be sure if like the paddings are correct without actually inspecting it, but so far this does look good. Okay, what else do we need to do? This is gonna become an auto layout as well, and the difference is that this is gonna be switched to space between. Now the settings in here, need to put it to left and right, and voila, it works. Awesome. Let's now go into one of these cards. So as soon as we kind of create one card, we're gonna have all of the other ones ready in a sense as well. So we just need to start with the elements that we have in here. So one thing that I do notice is that there are these little dots that are maybe representing some kind of a tagging system inside of this project management tool. So I'm just gonna do that first. There's gonna be a little purple dot and a little green dot. Like that. They're gonna be in and out layout as well. And then there's gonna be some text. So outdoor adventure. I think I'm gonna reset this back to kind of one of the most basic text styles that we can have. I'm gonna align this to the left. I'm also gonna make this a fixed width, but it's gonna be a little bit bigger, maybe something like 160 or like 200. It honestly does feel a little bit smaller, maybe even 14. So I'm gonna do that. And then this is gonna have some padding. This feels too big. Maybe 8. There's gonna be a feel like this, a subtle corner roundness. No, this definitely feels bigger. So 24 and maybe 16 is gonna be where it's at. Okay, so the width of this element is gonna basically stay fixed. The height can change if this becomes longer, and it's working. So I'm feeling good about that. Let's see how it looks / works like if we remove the little dots. Still looks good. Practice Figma for 1 hour. It does feel like this is probably going to be smaller, so maybe something like that. And then the next one in here is going to be spend evening with Chris, movie night. And again, seeing that the text in here, in all of these layers is not working properly. That means that the text layer needs to fill the container, because we already have the width of the main frame. Add something bigger. I'm just gonna make this 200, maybe 208. Like, I do need to figure out what the width is, and I feel like it's probably 216, because this text fits this text now, looks and works the same, so I'm guessing that's correct. And on all of these ones, I'm just gonna make this a little bit smaller because it's definitely not 28. Let's tidy it up and let's put it to like 4 or 8. That looks good. It does feel like they do have a small shadow, and it also feels like that's then gonna be the auto layout that we're gonna use. Awesome. Let's copy this text, place it in here. It says Friday. I'm gonna start with Monday. And it's gonna be a little bit bigger, maybe like that. And I'm also gonna add the menu icon, and I'm gonna need a plus. So I've added both of those icons in here. I can drag them in here to work with them. You need to be careful when you're working with this. You don't want to drag just like one dot. So make sure that you selected the whole frame by seeing these dots in there, and then you can drag it safely. I'm just going to resize both of them to 24, because I do feel like that's probably going to be better. This one might even be smaller at 16. And let's go inside both of them and just change this to 1.5. Okay. Create an auto layout out of this. Perfect. I'll just set it to full container. Let's create an auto layout out of that. Maybe something like 16. Add a color fill. It's gonna be that. Cool. I do feel like this is probably a little bit smaller, and then this needs to move to fill container as well. Let's grab this text, add it next to this icon, add a card, resize it, add it to semi-bold or medium, whatever it is, create an auto layout from it, center it like that. I think it's a little bit tighter. Let's recolor everything into this purple that we're using, like that. Grab that auto layout, place it into this one, and we have one of the cards ready. Now, since basically the card is just like repeating what I did in here, I'm not gonna spend too much time on that, because you already basically have the solution to everything that we had to do. I'm just gonna create an auto layout out of these two cards, 3, 4, 5, 6. You can go in here, change it to Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then just kind of remove elements that are not going to be needed. You can also duplicate it to showcase that it scales like that. And this part is going to stay fixed, so it's going to be left up. And when we resize this, we now have the entire dashboard made out of auto layout elements. Now, if you want to go like really wild, you can still create auto layout out of these three items. The first thing that I would do would probably be working with this too. Now, if this one is going to scale, I don't think that's really going to make a lot of sense. So honestly, there's no need for you to create an auto layout out of all the three. Because this one would have to stay at fixed width if you want to showcase how that would work. And then you would have to grab these two, and they would need to basically take that into account, turn all of this into auto layouts, make this part fixed, but resize it so it doesn't kind of ruin the size of that. And also this is gonna be the container, contents. The only problematic part is this. I could do it by adding I think it's 32 to the paddings in here, and then just kind of resizing it to the width of this. This part is gonna basically fill the container. This part is also gonna have 32 of padding in here. No, just this part. Now, if that's gonna resize correctly. This part needs to be on the fixed width, and this was the problem that we had, and now it still works even though it's a part of auto layout. So you can still make it. I don't really see a benefit of doing it that way. So I'm just gonna go like fully back to where we started, because that's the place where I would leave it. I think this is just perfect. Everything's positioned correctly. You can resize it and it works. Oh, maybe I didn't go back enough. Yeah. Okay, perfect. Thank you for following along. I know that this was a longer video, and I know that this is probably the most complex assignment that you had to go through on your own and kind of figure out what all of these auto layout elements are. But if you managed to solve this without watching this video, congrats. If you had to watch it for just like a couple of things, also congrats, because that's a lot of progress for someone who just went through the module of auto layout. And if you just watched it to kind of see how I would do it, hopefully there was still like a worthy tip or two that you're gonna use in practice when you're designing. So see you in the next module.